Today is Thursday. Yes, I'm recording this Thursday, and I'm gonna upload it. This is gonna be a recorded podcast. I think I'm gonna upload it to YouTube. Listen, if your first time watching this or listening to my podcast, make sure to follow me on all social media, Real Anarchy, and subscribe to the channel where I upload videos and shorts. I do a lot of shorts during the week because I think they're practical, they're easy to do, easy to manage. So, and of course, I do videos. Oh, by the way, I should give you a little heads up. So, I'm gonna be doing more videos, but it's gonna be a collaborative effort. What I mean by that is that I'm gonna be enlisting the help of some people that I respect their opinion, I value their opinion, and also I might disagree with some of the stuff that they say, but we are cordial with each other and respects each other's opinions. So I wanted to do videos where I talk about certain things, and I want them to also give their point of views, and whether it's to agree with me or disagree with me, but it's all for fun, and I want to just play around with that little with that back and forward with a couple of people that already have a line. The first one I'm gonna try to get it done by next week, and it's gonna be around the Green Lantern series that is gonna be part of the DC universe and this whole gods and monster thing. Anyway, so yeah, so make sure to follow me for that, and you can follow me also on all the social media platform, Twitter, Instagram, Threads. I don't do much on Threads. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I don't find it interesting, or it's because it's not as easy to manage as it is with Twitter and Instagram. TikTok, I cannot crack that stupid site, man. I did a video. I don't remember which one it was. Oh, I did a reaction video, and it kind of went viral, and it went even more viral on on Instagram, where it caught I think about 8 million views. And but TikTok, it's hard. It's just nothing. Like every time I upload something, it's like 400, 500, 300, and it depends on the subject. I guess it depends how hot the subject is. So I guess that's how TikTok works. And I try to figure out the algorithms. I'm like, I don't know. You know what? Every time I do videos, I do it with intent to publish it on YouTube. Also Twitter. Twitter, I get a nice traction of views there, and also then I'm gonna try to be more consistent with Instagram too. So just be on the lookout for that. But TikTok, follow me there too. But TikTok is flaky, man. I don't know what it is about the algorithm. I cannot figure it out. I don't know how it works. I try to go to Threads, but Threads this, and I started talking about Threads, and I don't know why I ended up on TikTok, but Threads. I do not know how that works. To be honest with you, it's supposed to be uh, uh, the 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 solution to um to Twitter or to X, whatever that you want to call it. But I don't. I think it's not as intuitive as I wish that it would be. Like it doesn't recognize hashtags, like or tags or whatever it is that you want to call it. How is it that you gonna be able? How am I able to push or position myself uh, to have people review my content? I that's why I'm like, no, I'm you know what? I'm not gonna try to figure this out. I got a nice flow going with what I have, and I don't want to overburden myself with this. Anyway, so guys, I've been rambling too much. Today, I'm gonna be talking about. You guys know, you guys know that this is a DCU centric, DCU centric live stream podcast videos. My channel is just dedicated to the DCU. And yes, I started with the DCU, but now it's just towards the DCU. And I'm excited for what James Gunn is gonna do with this universe. There's plenty of channels. I already said this many times. There's plenty of channels out there that want to be negative about everything that James Gunn is doing, and you know what, to which is on, and I guess that gives them traction, that gives them views, that gives them clout. So be it. I guess there is no way to not have the being part of the fandom, because every fandom has the fanboys, it has the objective minds, and it has the haters. I like to think myself as an objective person, because I'm excited for this, but I think I'm gonna be uh, I'm gonna be very honest about my opinions on the product. I said many times before that I was not a fan of James Gunn, the Suicide Squad, but I love his trilogy with Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought he did a phenomenal job. The first one was amazing. The second one was okay, but the third one just like oof, hits me in the feels every time I watch that movie. And so I know I got a feeling that he can do a good job um, with Superman Legacy, and also he can do a good job steering the ship of the DCU or the DCU. It's just all habits die hard. But anyway, so let's talk about some stuff that happened throughout the week, and gonna give my little 2 cents on all these things that happened, because they have been not too much thing, not too many things going on. But let's start off with this. Creature Commandos, The Witcher, Anya Chalotra. I'm really bad with people's names, but Anya, she was also in, what's the name of that show? The Witcher. She was in The Witcher, and she was pretty good. I guess she's really good at being a witch, because she's just been cast as Cersei in Creature Commandos. And she's pretty much playing the Saxon character, because Cersei is a witch, and she has stupid powers, and she well, she's the villain. She is Wonder Woman villain. She's a Wonder Woman villain, and I want to say she's really Hippolyta's villain, because she hates Hippolyta. So because she hates Hippolyta so much, she hates not Wonder Woman. I guess her spawn. And I think having Cersei in this DCU so early will contribute to Wonder Woman's character's development, and also teasing her for future shows. And being that they're gonna do the series, I don't know if it's gonna be a prequel. Like, we don't know anything about that. Like, there's a Paradise Lost was supposed to be the name, right? So I do not know how far back they're gonna go into the story, because I picked up the comic book. Not it's not the comic book, but the graphic novel of the Wonder Woman in Paradise Lost. And I haven't started reading it, so I do not know much about it. I know enough about Wonder Woman to understand who this character is and what can she bring to the game. Like, she has magical abilities, that can challenge Wonder Woman. Not only that, also being that magic is one of the things that Superman is. It's not his weakness. He can just get hurt by magic. That's pretty much it. It's like, if I was, I don't know how to explain it, but that's always I find that a little bit difficult to always to explain. It's not that he gets weakened by magic. He just can get hurt by magic. That's all it is. Like, if somebody punches him in the face, no, that's not gonna affect them. But if he gets blasted with some magic, yes, that's gonna hurt him. So having her there also poses a threat to Superman. So I think that's also a good thing to have. And not only that, also another thing is that I'm thinking about the gods aspect of this universe. Having Cersei in there is gonna also add another layer to this to the gods and the mythos of the gods or the all gods in the DCU. And I think this is a good way to introduce the all gods into the DCU with introducing Cersei, and I'm sure they're gonna introduce the others, or at least they're gonna reference others. So I'm excited for that, and I like her as her acting. I thought she was really good in Creature Command. Sorry, in The Witcher. I think she's beautiful. She is beautiful, and I think she did a bang up job. Listen, I didn't watch the second season of The Witcher. I really, well, no, the second season I did watch. Sorry, the third one is the one that is out. That one I used to like. I don't know. The first one was really good. Second one was okay, and then by the third one, I was like, I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes. I was like, nah, this is not for me. And actually, I like the second. The reason why I like the second one was because I noticed that Henry Cavill's performance was far better. The first one was like a little bit too dry, which the characters in essence is supposed to be like this dry, non no bullshit type of individual, but it felt repetitive every time I saw him in screen. So, but in the second time around, he was a little bit more. He had a little bit more range on his acting, so that was good to see. Anyway, so let's talk about another thing that was talked about this week, and it's Supergirl. Supergirl. They One of the things that was announced on February last year. Damn, man, it's almost gonna be a year since the big announcement. It's gonna be almost a year. This is how, oh my goodness. Listen, James Gunn announced that they were gonna do a Supergirl film. All right, so this was announced a while back. So one of the things that I wanted to just I was thinking about this film is that all the things that they're gonna introduce in this film. Okay, this movie is based on Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. This was already announced, and they even announced who's gonna be writing this film. Actually, that person, Anna Noguera. I don't know if I'm pronouncing. Again, I'm really bad at pronouncing names, pronouncing words. Period. I believe Anna Noguera is she already writing the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I think she made a pitch to James Gunn. James Gunn thought it was a fantastic treatment, and he wants her to take the lead and go ahead and write that film. So I don't think there isn't a director attached to it. There isn't. It's just been announced, and there is a writer attached to the film. So being that he's already doing the Superman legacy film, he wants to hit the ground running, and I like this approach. I like him saying, you know what, I'm gonna Wu Tang this universe. I'm gonna go ahead and bring everybody out, the heavy hitters, and then we can expand and do solo films. So my understanding, he said many times before that no character is gonna be cast until the director is attached to a film. But I think this is a character that, by design, was supposed to be part of the Superman legacy film, and this is why this rumor came from Deadline that Supergirl Millie Alcock, Emilia Jones, and Meg Donnelly among those in the mix to screen test for the role. Now, I don't have a favorite. Actually, I kind of do. I'm kind of leaning towards Millie Alcock because she was really good in House of the Dragon. I mean, she was amazing. She was so good that I remember watching those first episodes, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like Renera, older Renera, as much as I love this young Renera. And older Renera, she killed it too. They both amazing actress, and I thought she would be amazing in that role. I think that's everybody's favorite so far. And but she like I don't know, she channels very young, and I know that Supergirl is supposed to be in her early 20s, younger than her cousin Kal Zor-El. She's supposed to be younger, but I don't know. When I was reading the that comic book or the graphic novel, because I read it, just I actually read it after it was announced. I don't go out buying Supergirl comic books. I seen a couple of episodes of the TV series on CW, but Supergirl is just not one character. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to, you know what I mean. She's okay, but anyway. So when I was reading the comic, the graphic novel, I don't know why I keep saying comic. When I was reading the graphic novel, she came across as older. I know she was celebrating her 21st birthday, and something ensued. A couple of things happened. I don't want to give it away if you want to go and pick up that graphic novel. And things happened when she was celebrating her birthday. But I don't know, for some reason when I see those panels, she came across as older. Like she was one of those young ladies who kind of channel an older vibe of a more grown up energy, and that's where I see Meg Donnelly. I really think she can do. Well, it's not that she's a seasoned actress, but she looks like her. She looks like her. Like I'm looking at her. I'm like, oh man, she does look like her, and she already has some experience because she voiced Supergirl. I think in the Crisis film that just came out, which I have tried to watch it a couple of times, and I stopped midstream because I don't know, it's not that great. Anyway, so she is right there in age because she I think believe she's 23, McDonnelly, and and I think like it's like my sympathy is with Millie Alcock, but my money is with Donnelly. I think I said the same thing, but in reverse on Twitter. Because after a while, it's like looking at her, it's like, damn, she does look like Supergirl. But I got a feeling like Millie is gonna get the job. Emilia Jones, I like her. She was amazing in Coda. Actually, she kind of got me choked up a couple of times in that film. And but I don't know. She's a strong actress. I think she could also do a wonderful job if she is to get the job. One of the things I was thinking about this film is that, man, I to me as important as the character of Kara Zor-El. I said this on on the vodka stream on last Friday. Is Ruthie, and Ruthie, if you read the graphic novel, her father gets murdered by Krem of the Yellow Hills. That's the main villain of the whole story, and she's trying to enlist Supergirl to help her wage revenge on this man who killed her father, and that's the whole thing. That's pretty much what the whole graphic novel is. But in during the whole thing, the whole process, you get to know Supergirl sad backstory, and I thought it was really good because it was one of those things that made you differentiate Supergirl from Superman. Because like you think every time I thought about Supergirl, oh, that's Superman's cousin. Like it was an afterthought for me. It was just, okay, that's Superman's cousin, and that's how I always felt until I read this graphic novel, and it made me kind of connect with the character a little bit more, understand the character motivation a little bit more, because Superman doesn't kill. He does things the right way for a specific reason, but Supergirl does the same thing, but for a whole group of different reasons, and they all make sense if you read it. The graphic novel. So yeah, so I'm thinking about her. I'm thinking about Ruthie. I'm thinking about Krem. All those characters they had to cast. You know what? James Gunn has done an amazing job casting so far. The only casting that I have not been a fan of Is his brother. And I do not, and I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm gonna give him a pass until I see what he does with the character, because he's a seasoned actor. He's a theater actor. He's done well in the Marvel universe. So I think he can potentially do something good with the role. So I'm, you know what, I'm gonna wait, and then if he does bad, I'm gonna call it for what it is. And no, this is, and I don't know, is Max Lord is just like everyday guy who has money. That's who he is to me. Anyway, so I've been rambling enough about Supergirl. So let's talk about some of the stuff that has been on social media, which, because this is what the main topic is. James Gunn social media activity. He's on threads. He doesn't go on Twitter anymore. I think the last time he went, I don't know. I shouldn't take credit for that. But one of the few last times that he was on Twitter, it was when I asked James Gunn if he ever seen anybody fan casting a character and he thought it was amazing, and he said yes, many, but he never he refused to say if he knows of anybody that being cast because of somebody recommended it. But anyway, so it's award season, and Metamorpho and Lois Lane snap a picture together, and this is what he shared. Actually, this is something that was posted by DC Film News. You should follow those guys. They're on top of stuff. And he said, "Hey, this was texted to me." So I guess Rachel Brosnahan, Lois Lane, sent the picture that she snapped during I think it was the Golden Globe or it was the Emmys. I don't remember. It was one of those award shows, and which in both of them were in attendance. So they snap a picture together. Somebody should do a manip of that image and put her on some. Nah, she look amazing. That's fine. I like that little dress that she's wearing. But anyway, so yeah, so James Gunn said, yeah, she texted this image to me, and and that's all she wrote about that. Anyway, so here's another thing that came out on social media, well, on threads. Somebody kind of, I don't know, where's this website from. I forgot the name of that website where you rate films. I forgot the name. I know it's gonna get to me the minute that I finish recording this podcast. But anyway, so somebody asked him, masquerade, whatever. I don't. Anyway, make a never mind. So James, he said, "Hey James, I'm just browsing through the letterbox. It's right there." Such an idiot. I'm such an idiot. So anyway, so this individual asked, "Hey James," said, "Hey James, I'm just browsing through Letterbox, and oh, interesting addition to the cast there. So I guess in Letterbox you can put the cast in a film, and somebody put Ryan Gosling as Batman." James Gunn didn't even dignify this with an answer. He just put an emoji with his eyes rolling. I was like, "Get the hell out of here, Ryan Gosling! No way, no way he will play Batman. He doesn't even look like Batman. You know what? I shouldn't say that he doesn't look like Batman, because I felt that Robert Pattinson didn't look like Batman, but dang, he really embodied that role. He did a bang up job. But going back to this, um, no, yeah. So James Gunn kind of dismissed it, but he didn't say anything. So you could take that with a grain of salt. You can do with that as you will. I still don't think that's gonna be the case. I don't think he could be the Batman, even though Muschietti is already attached to the film. So Muschietti probably, hey, yeah, this is gonna be my Batman. You can introduce him in Superman Legacy, and but I don't think I don't think that's who's gonna be Batman. even though he's like in the right age. I was having a conversation with someone on social media about Batman that he should be 35. I'm like, I don't know about that because Batman became Batman when he was 25. You know what I mean? Then like he's 35. You mean to tell me that he gotta like when he became Batman right there he fought the legal shadow and plowed Talia and then now he got a 10-year-old. Nah, I don't think that that's gonna work. So that's that. You know what? And that's just me my with my geek hack on thinking. Yeah, he joined when he was 25. You know, like they could make it that he joined when he was 20, so that way he could have a 15-year-old running around. And again, he has to play into that whole idea that when he was 20, he became Batman. He fought the legal shadow, and he was introduced to Talia, which ensue them to get together and having a baby, having little Damien, the little demon. Um, so yeah, no, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think Ryan Gosling is gonna be the next Batman. That is just that would absolutely be weird. But anyway, so let's talk about this little thing. Listen, this is something that happened during the award that was going on. I think it was the Golden Globes. Anyway, so during the Golden Globes, they asked, they asked Rachel Brosnan. I don't know if it's the. I keep. Why did I? Was it during the Golden Globes or was it? I got a feeling it wasn't. I got a feeling now. I feel like doing a Google search, just pausing this and go and do a Google search. But no, no, that's no. Let's keep going. Um, because so yeah, so during the Golden Globes, they asked um Rachel Brosnahan, hey, so are you guys already working out for the film? What are you guys doing? And she said, well, let's go over this. Superman, the new Superman will have sense of humor, says Lois Lane actor Rachel Brosnahan. Every single person involved in the film is a perfect nerd. And I don't know if you've seen this on social media, on Twitter, this or X, where you see the actor who's gonna be playing Superman. Uh, I think he was singing to one of John Williams' theme song, and he was doing. I think he was singing to John Williams' theme song, and one time he was also playing around as he was involved in a situation in his. I think he was. Um, I think he was recreating a scene from Star Wars. He's a geek. He's definitely a geek. So David Carnsworth is definitely a geek, and you can tell. And that's of course we want that. Of course we want that. Anyway, so when this happened, people lost their minds and started saying, "Oh, we want a serious Superman." Like, listen, both of Supermans are valid. Having a serious Superman, like I appreciate Henry Cavill's Superman. I appreciate so Zack Snyder grounding these characters and making them the way that he did. When he tried to construct these characters, I like that because we haven't seen that before. We already seen the hopeful, optimistic, Donner Superman. Yes, we have seen those, so it was just right that Superman was taken in a different direction because you cannot keep doing the same thing and expect people not to get tired, and which is what happened. Well, then again, that movie is just really bad. Superman Returns. That was just a poor piece of crap. Anyway, so I appreciate the hell out of the work that Zack Snyder did with Superman and Henry Cavill Superman. At the same time, I'm excited to see what David Carn's Superman's gonna look like. Because remember, we got a little bit of Clark Kent, but we didn't get the Clark Kent that had to deal with dual identity, where he has to hide this powerful individual that he really is, where he had to deceive people from looking his way. Because when I saw him, honestly, and I think it's one of the little pet peeves that I have with that character. When I saw it on BBS, and we didn't get to see him, we didn't get to see a lot of Clark. We saw Clark, but Clark, the one that didn't have to hide his secret identity. But when I saw him in BBS and the Daily Planet, he pretty much was like a a solid guy who wasn't sure of himself. You know, try to hide his identity, so he had to play this this individual that is unsure, that is a klutz, that you've seen him in the comics, you've seen it in the films, you've seen it in the animated series. That's who Clark is, because that's how he tries to hide his identity. So having Clark in this universe and this movie, which that's what's gonna happen. He's gonna have these two characters where you have Clark and you have Superman. So Clark Kent will allow moments of humor and lightheartedness. So Clark's awkwardness and bumbling behavior can provide comic relief, and that's where I think where the funny part is gonna come, because I think uh, having because Superman's like this guy who's like all serious. He has a super serious persona, but his alter ego doesn't. His alter ego is gonna be a klutz. He's gonna be funny. He's gonna be unsure himself. So I think he gonna. That's where he's gonna introduce some of the humor. Even when he's Superman. Superman, I did a short where he's been funny in many runs on Landis comic book run, and Superman All Star, and Superman for All Seasons is which is the other. I remember it's a lot of funny moments where Superman was being genuinely funny, even in the animated series. It's funny. So I think it's when people say, "Well, no, Superman is not," you don't understand the character. You are a fan of what Zack Snyder did, and that's fine. That's fair. That's to which is own. I do like that interpretation of Superman. I really do, even though again, uh, I have an issue that we didn't get to see that Clark Kent, which are the one that we are familiar with. We just got a Clark Kent or investigative reporter. Anyway, so I think it is good to have both. You know, having the interaction also with both like what if Superman has you know allies and and everyday people that helps him humanize him and adds a relatable dimension to who he is. He has to be normal, act normal, have a serious conversation, and also lighten the tone whenever he's having a conversation. So I think all this back and forth with people about how Superman should be portrayed uh, is a silly argument to me. I think it's fine that Superman, should have that strong sense of duty and responsibility, and the weight of protecting humanity should be heavy on his shoulder. But at the same time, he should be an individual who can be relatable and approachable. That's that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say about that, because I thought it was just I just I do not like to see. I don't know. I don't want to say hate. I just don't like to see people being negative for the sake of being negative. I'm like, oh man, these individuals are unsufferable, because like you're not even being trying to be a little bit objective about the subject. They just want to be negative about it just for the sake of it, which I never understand. Anyway, so yeah, so I think this in after this out, hey, they're both equally important. They're both equally important. Having this character that is lighthearted, is this guy who has a strong personality. It's fine. It's quite fine. Okay. All right. So, oh, this is something. Maybe let me. I hate sharing sound, because I want to put this on YouTube, and then YouTube has a funny way to I don't care if it demonetizes the video, but I don't. I hate getting strikes, and I don't have a strike right now, but I hate getting strikes because it's like it stops me from doing things that I want to do. I'm like, oh man, I want to be anyway. But anyway, so she said she spilled the beans. She said that Derek Sweat is in Atlanta right now doing the flight training for Superman Legacy. So he's right now in Atlanta wearing those harness, doing the flight simulation things. You guys seen the behind the scenes when Henry Cavill did it. Uh, when Superman Returns, his name escaping me right now. Brandon Routh did it. When Brandon Routh did it, I remember that. I used to watch a lot of behind the scenes because I was so excited for that movie. I wanted to see it so bad. But anyway, so hopefully, I'm sure we're gonna get some footage out of that. And man, I want to see what he looks like because that dude looked jacked last time we saw him. And he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to that. Now it's a real thing. Now it's real. Now it feels real that he's in Atlanta right now, doing the whole thing with the harness and doing the wiring training with James Gunn. James Gunn hasn't posted anything about that. Let me see. Now that I'm doing this because it'd be something that if he does post something while I'm doing this, while I'm recording this, then I have to come back and say, oh, okay, I forgot to include this. Let me bring this in. Anyway, no, he hasn't said anything. So yeah, so I'm excited for this. Looking forward to that. Hey, and this is another thing that he put on his social media, on his thread account. Somebody asked him about Peacemaker. So, what episode of Peacemaker you write last week? Uh, we are waiting. And he responded, I've done up to 7, one left. So it's gonna be 8 episodes. I think 7 to 8 episodes per series. I think that should be like the sweet. To me, it feels like it's the sweet spot. 7 to 8 is the sweet spot. Like if you could do 5 solid, well, really tight story, you could do it in 5 and 6. But 7 or 8, 7, 8, I think that's a sweet spot. That's like giving the streaming service enough time for people to talk about the product and continue to talk about the product every week and make a trend and get people to notice the streaming service. I think that's the sweet spot. So it kind of service both. It service the streaming service and it service the story. Even though I don't know, he likes to make those little announcements. I don't do things because of a mandate. Like I don't know. Like we don't know if Warner Brothers say, "Hey, it has to be 7 episodes, 7 to 8 episodes." So make sure that you make 7 or 8 episodes. I don't know if he writes with intent to make 7 or 8 episodes, or he just started writing and said, "I could tell this good story with, like I did last time, 6 to 7, 7 or 8 episodes." But I'm excited for this. I really like the first Peacemaker. I really enjoyed it. I I didn't like that character at all in the film, which is this is why it's so befuddling to me how much I like this character, because I was not a fan at all. At all. It's like Peacemaker. What? What the fuck is this guy? I was not a fan at all. So then when I saw the series, I remember the series came out, and I was still reluctant to watch it. And I was watching the intro. I was like, oh my god, this looks silly. This whole intro, it looks silly. I'm not watching this. And then I was like, all right, let me give it a try, because everybody was talking about it. So like social media kind of twist my arm on that a little bit. But oh man, when I watched it, I couldn't stop watching it, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Everything about that show was really good. It was good from beginning to end. So I'm really looking forward to the second season. I guess the second season is gonna explain a little bit further how that character fits into the DCU, because that individual showed up right at the end. Right at the end, when people were getting tired of the DCU and they were ready to reboot this whole universe. So perfect timing. So I think he got a way in, knowing that it was right there, and that's why he saved him, and he found a way to make it work in this universe. So let's see. I don't know. I hope it's not multiverse. I'm so sick of the multiverse. I'm so tired of the multiverse, honestly. All right. So this was something that was written by Tatiana Siegel. This is a if you are part of the Snyderverse movement or the when it during its heydays, when it meant something. Now it just means something totally different. Now it's just crazy. Listen, and to be fair, there are people out there that are Snyder cultists, and those people are weird. Yes, um, but they are just as weird as the people that criticize him to a crazy degree. Like you don't have to every, and I kind of mess with them here and there, but there are people that are constantly attacking these people. You don't have to do that. Yeah, they're weird. They created this little cult, whatever. But you don't have to be attacking them every single time you want to say something about. Like I equally despise that when people want to do videos hating on James Gunn for no reason at all, for because you have your own bias, because you think they're gonna restore the Snyderverse, because you think only Snyder can direct DC movies. I hate people hating on these on the Snyder cultists for the exact same reason. When you think that these people are the craziest, that because James Gunn is gonna be the best thing, because the DCU is gonna be the greatest thing ever, and you're gonna hate on these people. No, that's not cool either. So I think the two extremes are a little bit too much for me. Like I'm fine hating on everybody, to within taste. If there's such a thing. Anyway, so let's get back to this. You guys remember like a couple of weeks ago, there was Steam Engine Willy whatever that Mickey Mouse character that came into the public domain, and they announced right after that two scary movies based on that on 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 the on that version of Mickey Mouse. So apparently, after X amount of years, it's like you don't own anything. That's told this to my wife many times. We live in this land, but we don't own anything. Like I could have this house paid off. By the time I pay it off, if taxes are not paid for, I'm gonna lose every penny that I invested in this house. But anyway, so let me go back to this. So every few years, whenever you introduce a character or something into the side guides, you have I think 89 years or something to that effect for it to pertain to a specific company, whoever has the rights, whatever. But then enters the public domain, and when it enters the public domain, that version of that character can be used by anyone, and that's what happened with Steamboat Willie. Now, this young lady, Tatiana Siegel, she wrote this piece saying when Superman and Batman the copyrights expire in a decade, which it doesn't in about 10 a year, well 9 because we're already in 2020 24. Will be the kryptonite for DC? No, it won't. This is really clickbaity. So Superman and Lois will enter the public domain in 2034, followed by Batman in 2035 and Joker in 2036 and Wonder Woman the following year. Now, this is what I'm trying to say. Let me go. Let me touch on the other points. Okay, so this is what I wanted to touch upon. So the characters that were introduced at that time, I think it's getting cut off. It's getting cut off. Let me bring this a little bit further so that way there you go. So the characters that were introduced at that time when Superman was introduced in Detective Comics, that Superman, that Lois Lane, that Batman, that Joker, that Wonder Woman, those characters as they appear there, those are the ones that are gonna go into the public domain. Meaning like it says here, the initial Superman could only leap, not fly. Those characteristic, oh my goodness, are going to fall into the public domain one by one, says Amara Shire, media of entertainment lawyer at Moore's. So, meaning that th- that character, when it was created, didn't have um, didn't have kryptonite and didn't have certain relationships. I don't think there was a Jimmy Olsen use yet. So there's a lot of things of what makes Superman today. The Superman that we see and love today is not the same Superman that was introduced almost 100 years ago. Okay, so that's not who he is. So that Superman that we see today, we're not gonna see a parody of those films or a low budget version of that. But anybody can go and do a version of that Superman. Like if you go and watch the Fleischer cartoon, the animated series, you'll see that he doesn't fly; he leaps because it's based on that Superman. And man, I really like those Fleischer anime. Anyway, which you in one thing is that those are part. I think those are part of the public domain. That's why you can see them on. I think you can see them on YouTube without getting a strike. But anyway, so DC has been preparing. And this is one of the things that was said. DC has been preparing for this for years. At a press event in 2023, CEO James Gunn noted that the next Superman film will introduce characters from The Authority, a comic book series that launched in 1999, in part because the Superman copyrights is about to expire. Now, somebody asked him about this. And listen, this is something I think he mentioned something about this on that interview on February last year when he was talking about this whole thing. I think he did. I think he did say something about that. But somebody went on threads and asked him, "Hey, this is what they said." This individual said, "Hey James, there was an article out there about Superman becoming a public domain. In the article, it said you're introducing the authority, man. Authority members in Superman Legacy because of that. Is that true?" So as James Gunn responded, no story decisions were based on characters becoming public domain. Now, I think he doesn't like to me that I agree with him on that because the thing is that the Superman that we see today, the Superman that we're gonna see in Superman Legacy, is drastically different from the one that was introduced in Detective Comics. So he doesn't have to worry about that. I don't think. I think people understand the vast difference between those two characters. Even I think there's in the image that I'm looking at right now. That's Superman and the Authority. There's a comic book run with Superman working with the Authority. He's pretty much a member of the Authority or the leader. Haven't picked up one yet, but I'll add it to my list. I got a freaking long queue of comic books that I need to read, or that I want to read, and that's one of them. But yeah, so going back to this, I think this whole thing with characters entering the public domain, it's um, it's like, for instance, for Batman. Batman, all his characters were introduced years later. Like Batman was, I think, uh, Frank Miller. It there's a Batman before Frank Miller and after Frank Miller. Like Frank Miller was the one who said, "I'm gonna make this character serious," and that's when Batman started to become more serious, more standoffish, and that's the version of Batman that we see today. Wonder Woman didn't have this. Well, she had the sword, but she didn't have the shield. She had so many. She has a bunch of characters that were not part of the. That I'm gonna be part of the public domain. But one thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be a little objective about this. I'm gonna talk about AI because I play around a lot with AI. Like if you see my shorts, I do them with AI and so a lot of my thumbnails. I'm gonna try to use my face a little bit more. This is why the thumbnails on this video is gonna have my face. So, because apparently people may connect more if there's somebody, a face behind it, whatever. Whatever. But anyway, so I'm thinking about that 10 years from now, AI. Right now, you can do like a little short video with Superman or Wonder Woman or Superman flying or jumping or whatever or interacting with Lois Lane. You can do that today. So I cannot imagine how further how much more advanced AI is gonna be 10 years from now. Think about this. Just a year and a half no, a year and a half ago. I'm sorry, not from now. A year and a half ago, ChatGPT was introduced. Now it's part of everybody's consumption. It started with just giving you little responses, the giving you little tips on how to code. Now today it's just like a juggernaut. Now it will code for you. It will give you all the information that you need. It will write create applications for you. It will create GPTs for you, and this is within a year. Same thing goes for, let's say, Midjourney. Midjourney version 3 was like very cartoonish, and this was like a year and a half ago. That's what I'm saying. Like this was just like a year and a half ago. There was a Midjourney 3 version 2, version 1, version 2 and 3. Now we are 6. From 6 to the one that was introduced a year and a half ago. Oh my goodness. And the same thing goes for animated videos, AI animated videos. Uh, right now, I forget the name of like I didn't even have that ready, but there's an individual who I follow, um, who makes little snippets. Like they are like 4 or 5 second clips, uh, and they are using Midjourney images. Like you can create a character that looks like Superman, and they can make like little clips using those characters. And I think 10 years from now, I can predict easily somebody's gonna be able to create a full motion picture with that character, with that Superman, with that version of Superman that was released almost 100 years ago. That is gonna enter the public domain. By the time that it enters the public domain, somebody's gonna go into his computer and do a whole freaking thing. And 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 they can do even more. They can add a characteristic to the character that doesn't have. Like, what if I want him to do like to the chest, the S to turn into something? I don't know. Whatever. The people can do a lot of things with this. So I think this is gonna be interesting. It's funny that we're having this conversation so early in the game. It's gonna be 10 years, 10 years ahead, in 10 years in the future. But you know what? And this is something that was also said in the piece that the public perception is the contemporary. So the public's perception is that the current Superman is distinctive. He says that gives a lot of protection, and it's true. It does, because it's a whole different Superman. This whole Superman, all different Superman that we're dealing with today from the one that was introduced. So it's like we see that we're like, who the hell is this guy? That doesn't mean that somebody can. You know what? You can even do a film similar to the Joaquin Joker film with that version of Superman, and I think that will be a banger. To be honest with you, like if you have the budget and you can bring a couple of people with you, and the CGI is gonna be cheaper because of AI, you can do a banger of a fucking short film with that version of Superman and ground it to the level to something similar to the Joker. Anyway, so that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. Yes, I've been rambling. I'm gonna be uploading this tomorrow, Friday, the 19th. Make sure you guys follow me. Also, all social media platform. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Here, I try to be here. Listen, guys, I honestly do not want to disrespect you and say, hey, I'm gonna be here every Thursday, because I really try my best to be here on Thursday. This is why I'm recording this tonight on Thursday night after a long day of work. but I cannot commit to a live stream every Thursday. I think I'm gonna have to find a way to do it from here from time to time. But I will be consistent with the videos and shorts. Like I said at the beginning, I'm gonna be collaborating with a couple of people and bringing something a little bit more fresh. And I'm gonna also gonna be uploading shorts as I usually do. I try to do it one daily. They're not so difficult to do. So when I finish working, I usually upload them at 7:30. So like I'm taking my like watching TV, putting it together, and upload it. Anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out with me this entire time. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, follow me on social media. I'll catch you guys later. Till next time, never let your nerd die. Peace.